This is probably the strongest character melee that I've ever done in recent years. It's so powerful. I mean, the speed, the defenses, the everything is the damage. I mean, I've got 6 million damage before trauma stack, and I don't have berserk or anything weird like that. It's just, it's so powerful. It's a strength stacking juggernaut. It's what it is. With Boneshatter, like you've probably done, I've looked up Boneshatter this league because it was getting popular and I liked its playstyle, and I was like, oh, maybe it's for me, maybe it's not, I don't know. But when I started uploading POBs and I started looking at videos, the most popular one being Karn, the damage was just not where I wanted it to be, and I've seen what kind of DPS those guys can get if they invest like 100 Exalt or 100 Divine this league into the build. But I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on the build, and I don't want to be, you know, spending like trying to get that early league. It's gonna be impossible, and they barely struggle to get 3 million damage on the Boneshatter on POB at the moment. That's the strongest Boneshatter, 3 million. Mine has 6 million flat DPS on a Juggernaut, which is the tankiest ascendancy there is. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty strong. I've been wiping my ass with the Guardians for 2 days now. I'm gonna link a Shaper fight at the end. You're gonna see me kill it in here, but I'm gonna link the Shaper fight at the end in the description. It's just, you know, I don't want to, like, I wish I could show you more endgame bosses, but as you might know, the league is very sparse on drops, and I haven't been able to get a single Drox Citadel drop, and that's just one of them. There's many things that, like, I can't summon the bosses. Shaper is the only one I've managed to summon, but I think you can see like the damage of this thing, the tankiness, the everything in the video. It gives you every information you need to have on it. We're honestly, like, if you wanna play Boneshatter, if you like melee, and you gotta understand, I hate melee. I don't like to play melee. Melee is like cancer to me. I've tried to avoid playing it for a long time mainly because like, if you play melee, in my opinion, you're playing the game on a hard mode. You need a lot more defenses to be able to survive, and it doesn't necessarily gives you more damage. Like, most melee builds have the same damage you can get on a spellcaster or a ranger or whatever. See, this is one of those examples of having the Maven, Minotaur, and another Guardian just spawned. Like, these three are putting degens, they're hitting me everywhere, and I just do not care. I don't die. Got a bit harder to kill them because the Maven pool was slowing my attack speed there a lot. And I died in the Chimera map you're gonna see soon. It's one of my only deaths that I had. Like, you can roll any map mods you want, but physical reflection. Even stun immune, it's just a pain in the dick to do, okay? You can run stun immune, it's just not comfortable. I don't recommend it. If you have any kind of currency in your chest, just reroll that thing. It's gonna be easier for you to do the map. But yeah, you can run no leech, you can run no regen, you can run less recovery, you can run everything. One of the reason why is because of my gems. I will explain it to you. You're gonna see the Chimera is a joke. Like, it's one of the easiest to do. Never even sweated killing her, but there were Maven encounters, and I have the node to summon more Guardians, and so yeah, if you have a lot of dirty mod on your map, and the Maven puts a pool that prevents you from regenning, and you got 2 Guardians hitting you in the face, you will die. But other than that, you're fine. But I wanted to show you a clip of like what kind of death you can get. And basically, yeah, it's because I'm running multi-strike in my setup, so that I don't kill myself too hard with the Boneshatter. I can the trauma of the Boneshatter. I can still crank up the Boneshatter up to like 15 traumas with multi-strike because I have a lot of attack speed. If you put like an empower, which would be the gem I would put if I don't use multi-strike, and I've tested stuff. If you put an empower in there, you can go up to 25 trauma stack. It is more powerful, but empower right now is like 12 divine. So yeah, I'm not paying that amount of money. So yeah, I ran multi-strike, and it just solves any mana problem because it costs 1 mana for 3 attacks. And also it feels very, very safe when I play it. So yeah, I mean, is there any downside to this build other than it being melee? There's none. It is so cheap, guys. I mean, the weapon we're using is 1 chaos. Like, I've put a bit of currency in it because I was screwing the game so much that I'm like, I cannot not put any currency at all in it. I gotta see what I can do if I juice it a bit. But I do not have pride. I don't even have damaging auras. I only have purity of elements and determination. So I don't have pride. I don't have flesh and stone. There's a bunch of stuff I don't have. And you're gonna be like, what? You're not running pride? Yeah, I'm not running pride, and I still have 6 million damage. That's how crazy this thing is. Yeah, stay tuned with the build description, but I strongly recommend you try this if you want to play melee. It is the most powerful I've seen, and honestly, I just think it's a missed opportunity for everybody who's not playing a strength stacking Boneshatter, because it's stronger than all the others Boneshatter out there. Alright, so this is my the second time I'm trying to record this video. I'm trying to make it as concise as I can, and for that I will put 2 other video down in the description about the mechanics of Boneshatter and how exactly it works, and same thing for my defensive measures against the Boneshatter trauma stack that you get hit from. Because it takes too long. It's very hard to make that fit in a video that's less than half an hour. So what I'm going to talk about here is every single items that I choose and why it's so strong. So I need to talk about the mechanics first, and I'll try to stay as concise as I can, trying to make this quick. So the main thing we're doing, like why we're stacking strength, is because we're using undeniable on a juggernaut that makes every strength we've got equal to twice our strengths, and every accuracy we have is then shoved into a percentage of attack speed. We use this helm that transforms our strength into more accuracy rating and more critical strike chance, and we use these gloves that are using strength, the accuracy to give you critical strike chance. Now, I can hear people out there say, or maybe you're not aware, that this is like regular accuracy stacking stuff if you're transforming strength into accuracy. By the way, this helm was 2 divine when I bought it. I believe the price I've gone up to like 5 or 6 divine. If they're higher than that, it probably skyrocketed because of this video. But it is not required. The only thing you need is the gain accuracy rating equal to your strength. 1% increased critical strike chance per 10 strength is just a bonus, okay? So the reason why we're doing this is, and the main reason why it works with Boneshatter specifically, because people are going to be like, this is just a strength stacking, accuracy, blah, blah, blah. Well, true, but Pillar of the Cage God is not used right now, and it's an underused item in a lot of ways, and especially with Boneshatter. I'll explain why. First of all, it's a 1 chaos item, so I've seen people with a crazy amount of DPS, a crazy amount of currency put into their character. Like, if you go on POB right now, just go real quick. If we go on POB right now and we're trying to look at Boneshatter character, okay. Yeah, I was looking at other stuff. Like the highest damage one without Berserker have 3 million damage. Okay, my flat DPS without trauma stack, no Berserker, 6 million. Okay, and I'm a juggernaut. So you tell me which one's the best. Personally, I don't know. Kind of easy to do the math. And these people have insane stuff. We're talking multiple tens of divines, weapon. I mean, the Ashes of Star on this guy straight up is 12 divine or 13 divine orb. Straight up. So, and he's got only 3 million damage. I am not optimized, not even close. If I optimize this character, it's going to be around 10 to 12 million. I haven't done the I'm sinking currency into the character POB yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be around 12 million. Without Berserker, without Trauma Stack again. So extremely powerful build, and the reason for that is that Pillar of the Cage God increased our physical weapon damage. Now, on a regular thing, like if you were using Ice Crash or anything that converts a high amount of damage into in a high amount of added normal damage, it would probably not do enough to justify using it. But with Boneshatter, we have a lot of flat damage. Okay, Boneshatter gives you like 350 flat damage straight off the bat. And I've used like an amulet that costed me like 80 chaos, and the chest here to upgrade that damage even higher, which gives me an insane amount of DPS. So Bone Shatter is like the best thing. I've honestly, when I was playing with this in POB, I thought I forgot something. I'm like, it's impossible that I've got this much damage with this cheap a gear. Like somebody would have noticed before me. Apparently not. Apparently people are just set on playing Slayer for some reason. I get that Slayer Overleach is very strong, but if you get like less recovery nodes, you're gonna get back less health than if you were using the Juggernaut Ascendancy that gives you a portion of the physical damage you've mitigated back as health. And since we're a Juggernaut, we mitigate a fuck ton of that damage. So it has I only have positive to give to this character. You saw the clear speed. It's crazy. It's a Juggernaut. You know it's tanky. Then all you gotta check out is the DPS, and the DPS is fucking bonkers. I did buy a Bottled Fate. Normally, I do not include Bottled Fate in most of my builds because it was too expensive in the past. This league, for some reason, it was 2 Divine Orbs, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna have it for 2 Divine Orbs because the regen is great for us, the crit is great for us, and the enemy is taking additional damage. So no reason not to use this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna show you like the gear by itself. You already saw the helm, the weapon, Oscarm, absolutely mandatory. Now, what is not mandatory is the rest. Alberon Warpath is an extra. You don't need it, but I like to have a +1 endurance charge corruption, costing me like 10 chaos because nobody's using those boots. If you don't want to use this, you can use a pair of boots with increased strength, like 8%, and a bunch of resist if you want to cap your resist easier. It doesn't add that much more damage to your kit, so feel free to leave these boots behind. They are not required at all. I bought this thing really cheaply because apparently nobody's using a +1 physical skill gem because it's shit on most things. But for us, increased strength and that, it's incredible. You need to put at least one non-channeling skill have -2 mana. If you can't have the craft yet, just buy a replica efficiency jewel. You're going to be fine. It's going to give you a -2 mana and you're going to be okay. We need a mana leech on our jewel, at least one, and you're good to go for mana. This is another build defining things. The new rings we can have skyrocket the amount of strength we can stack because we can have, and this is a fucking cheap rings. Like these 2 rings are cheap. This one was like 10 chaos. If you want to sink some currency, this thing, you can have easily 140 strength ring with plus maximum life and global accuracy rating. The belt was the only thing I did pay a lot of currency for. It was like 1.5 divine back then when I bought it. But it's worth it. At least just try to get increased strength on your belt. That's the most important thing you need. For the flasks, we're going to have reduced effect of curse on our basalt flask, Bottle Fate if you can afford it, Lion's Roar, Diamond Flask of the Opossum with a very important immunity to poison is very important. We are weak to chaos, and we are also going to pick this node right here. It is extremely important. Soul of Charkali to make sure that the caustic ground, when you do have them in maps, don't melt your ass because we do not have any chaos resistance. We do take the 6 reduced elemental damage from Soul of Lunaris. I highly recommend it. I don't want to go too much in depth in the defensive. If you have questions or you want to do your own thing, your own way, and you want to know about the mechanics, look in the link below. It's all going to be there. I'm going to make separate videos about the defensive mechanism and the offensive thing of Boneshatter and the entire mechanic around Boneshatter. Because personally, I thought there was not enough information on Boneshatter out there. I had to scour Reddit. I was watching content creators video and nobody was explaining very carefully how Boneshatter works. And I'm going to put it out there so people who want to play with it and try different things know how the mechanic works. I had to play test a lot of stuff. I'm going to go with the gems now. Leap Slam, Life Tap support. You can have, when you don't have a lot of strength, it feels kind of slow. So when you're having like around 1,000 strength, it starts getting better. But before that, make sure you link it with a faster attack damage support so your clearance feels great. War Banner, Determination, and Purity of the Element. Increased duration support, cast when damage taken, Molten Shell, Ancestral Protector, Bone Shatter, Brutality, Multi-Strike support, Ruthless, Animalist melee physical damage, Animalist increased critical damage. Now, very important when you're swapping, when you're mapping, you gotta use Divergent Ancestral Call support. It one-shot, you saw it in the video, it still one-shots everything you're gonna find in your maps. Juiced up Metamorphs, what's it called? Arch Nemesis, stacked up Essence before they nerfed it. I had Divergent Ancestral Call on me and I was still melting them. It is not an issue, trust me. You want this thing, it makes your clear feel way better. Increased critical strike, Anomalous, and it's all going to be in the POB, guys. Next we go with Vengeance. Power charge on crit to make our crit a bit. You might not need this depending on how much currency you sing in the build. If you have enough crit chance, you probably don't need to have this combo and replace it with something else. Multi totem support, Ancestral War Chief, Ancestral Cry, Arrogance support, Blood Rage, Precision. Okay, maxed out Precision 21 if you can afford it. So that's it for the gear. Now we're going to talk real quick. One of the main things that it allows us to do to have a strength stacking crit character build is that we're overcapping our critical strike chance, with which allows us to have blitz without any penalty whatsoever. We're still max crit cap. So this is great. It is really, really powerful. If you can afford it, they're about on $1.50 each. They were when I bought them. I don't know what they're going to be after this video. Take note, guys, that everything I bought was extra cheap, but it might be rarer to buy. So if this video gets very popular, the price might go up. I don't know. And a cluster when you can afford it with as much strength as possible on each. Split personality, 5 chaos each. With armor, you can buy accuracy or a life depending on how expensive they are and if you like them better. I tried armor, didn't make much of a difference. Honestly, I would rather have life in there or straight up accuracy for more damage. We don't have, and I want to be very, very clear. We don't have Watcher's Eye. We don't have like Pride, Flesh and Stone. There's a bunch of shit we don't have. If you do have money, there are better ways to do this. There will be 3 versions in the POB. A tanky version for hardcore if you really want to make sure you don't ever die. A damage version for the people who want to sink currency, and my version that I have now. Probably even 4 version if I can stack a cheap one. So I just want to make this video quick. It explains the core thing. You guys know what you got to do. Check it out in the POB for exactly the version you want to play. And also if you want to learn more about the mechanics of Boneshatter and the defense. Thanks.